welcome to the very first episode of
This tastes yummy!
With me, Danica.
And Julie. So, the intention of this show is to show our audience about how to cook with local fresh vegetables. Today we're going to be cooking with kohlrabi and turnips, two kind of unusual produce, and we just don't want you to be intimidated by these unusual things. So maybe you're at the farmer's market and you want to try something out new, or it's growing in your garden, it's something you've never grown before, or you're just looking for a new way to cook something that can often sometimes get bland, to me, like turnips.
We want to show you how we cook, which is simply, which is healthy, and personally, which we think is delicious.
And to not be intimidated when you're cooking, to experiment in the kitchen, and you don't have to follow recipes exactly. If you don't have turnips or you only have kohlrabi for this recipe, they're interchangeable, you don't have to use them both. Just experiment, and we're just going to show you how we do that in our kitchens.
It's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to get messy.
Absolutely.
And today, in the kitchen, we're going to get messy with a curried red lentil kohlrabi and couscous salad. Ingredients: red lentils. Aren't those absolutely beautiful? Just a really great color. Couscous, one of my favorite greens. Kohlrabi and turnips from Julie's garden.
Just pulled them out of the garden.
An Anaheim pepper, also from Julie's garden, adds a little bit of spice to our delicious curried meal. Some fresh mint on top of a bed of greens. And there you have it.
Okay, as you can see, these onions have just been sweating and browning a little bit in the pan, and they're releasing a lot of great flavors. If you were able to smell this, it smells delicious. I'm going to actually add the curry first, just about a tablespoon. You don't have to be exact. Curry's a blend of spices, and so we're going to let that toast just a tiny bit, coat these onions, release some of those flavors from the curry. Just a quick stir. And we're going to want to add 3 cups of water. You can also use vegetable broth or chicken stock or something with a little bit more flavor, but we're going to just let the lentils absorb that curry flavor and those onions and pepper flavor. And then we're going to add the 1 cup of lentils. And the lentils will need about 50 minutes to absorb all that liquid in there. So what we're going to do is turn this up, bring the water to a boil, and as soon as it boils, we'll turn it back down to a simmer and just let that simmer, and occasionally we'll come back and stir it. So you'll just want to watch it over the next 50 minutes, but for now, we'll just let it heat up and do its thing.
We're going to add to a medium bowl a 1/4 cup aged white wine vinegar, a little over a tablespoon, I'd say maybe 1.5 tablespoons of more delicious curry, 1 garlic clove pressed. So here's a garlic press, one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. If you don't really feel like chopping, it gives it a more minced feel to it. Just go ahead and press that. The garlic comes out there, you just slice it off with a knife, and then you can clean this up later on. So we'll whisk those ingredients together, and slowly we will incorporate 1/3 cup olive oil. We're going to whisk this until it's blended, and then we'll set it aside.
Check our lentils. They are looking really good. They'll be ready in about 10-15 minutes. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about turnips. These are so beautiful looking. They're called purple top turnips. They've got this nice color. Sometimes you'll get them with the greens on them like this, and you can actually eat turnip greens. They're delicious, but since the bugs have definitely gotten to these already, we're going to go ahead and remove those. And sometimes I leave the tail on, but these tails don't look too pretty, so we'll just cut those off. You can leave the skin on the turnips, and Danica's just going to chop those into bite-sized pieces, maybe a 1/2 inch. Doesn't have to be exact. And since kohlrabi is new to a lot of people, it grows above ground, and it has this tiny little stalk like a turnip tail, and it's just such a sexy produce. It's just so, it's like this nice bulbous vegetable under a array of these beautiful leaves. So we've cut the leaves off, and it has a really thick skin. So we'll go ahead. Let's see.
Let's keep an eye on the water as well.
You can see that it's got quite a thick skin, so it's a 1/4 inch almost of the flesh, or of the skin that I'm cutting off here to get into the flesh. And you can tell when you're into the flesh because it's a little bit softer. I'm just going to remove these and go ahead and dice that into 1/2 inch cubes as well. The flavor of this is so mild and what really you're getting out of it is texture, a nice burst of like a crispy crunch.
Kind of nutty, almost like a nice earthy, nutty flavor.
And just cutting these, I can smell that earthy flavor.
You can see here the lentils are doing a great job absorbing all of this water. They're almost ready to go. And too bad your computer isn't scratch and sniff. This smells so wonderful. We see over here that the water has begun to boil for the couscous. Go ahead and add 1 cup of the couscous to the water. Just a quick stir, cover, turn the heat back, and let that couscous simmer for about 2 minutes until all of the water is absorbed. It's set for 5 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and add that aromatic chopped mint.
Fresh mint from Danica's garden.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be really, really, really nice with that curry. So stir the mint into the couscous, and we're ready to go ahead and plate the food and get our eat on. So on a decent sized plate, we're going to add a bed of greens. And you can utilize any type of greens that you have at the moment, whether from your garden or from the farmer's market or your CSA. You can use spinach leaves, arugula. We're using a nice spring mix here. So after that's been plated, we're going to drizzle. Remember that dressing that we had made a while ago? We're just going to drizzle some of this dressing, oh my gosh, onto the bed of greens and set that down. We're not finished with that yet. Then we're going to take a delicious heaping scoop of the lentil mixture that Julie had created and just put it on top of the greens.
The greens will wilt a little bit, and that's the nice balance between a cold and hot salad.
Very good. There's lots of things going on. And then we'll add some of the diced turnips and kohlrabi. Just sprinkle them around, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then,
oh my goodness, I can't wait to taste this.
Some couscous on top. A little salt, a little ground pepper, and we can go ahead.
All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm going to get a little bit of this kohlrabi on my fork, a little bit of everything, couscous, lentils. Oh my goodness, this tastes yummy.
This tastes yummy.